one family, one people, one family, one people, one planet, one love, one family, one people, one planet, one love, one family.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to SoulCall Sunday. We are live coming to you from the Dempsey Event Center in beautiful Delaware, Ohio. This beautiful little place nestled amongst all the hustle and bustle, right? We hardly know it's here, but we know you're here, and let everybody know where you're here. So it feels funny, it feels a little strange. I'm trying it out for a month in between. We're just saying it feels like it's been longer than that. I hope you've been enjoying the pre-recorded, for the past 3 years, but we're into our 4th year worth of talks and inspirational interviews with people who are living their soul's calling every single day. So we welcome you wherever you are on the planet, and we're thankful that you're here with us this morning. The theme for this month is expanding the circle of love. Expanding the joy is the top title for today. And there's a quote that I quite love. We're going to take it into meditation in a moment, but it's from Paramahansa Yogananda. You may or may not remember the time. And it is, I, a tiny bubble of laughter, have become the sea of mirth itself. I, a tiny bubble of laughter, have become the sea of mirth itself. So this morning we're going to explore expanding that bubble of joy, expanding that bubble of light. As many of you know, we've got a Circle of Love gathering coming up right here, October 13th through the 15th. And it's going to be a wonderful immersion in experiencing the various ways we can live from the soul. And so when we talk about a tiny bubble of laughter, a tiny bubble of joy, we're going to talk about that more today. But the Circle of Love gathering is putting together many different ways to experience that and not just hear people talk about it. We hear lots of people talking about how we should feel, how we could feel, and what we're doing with Circle of Love. We've been doing it for almost 25 years internationally, and just in groups of like 50 people or less, offering opportunities for you to practice some ways to experience it for yourself. And then the one that lands for you, go deep into that well. Go deeper into it. So hope you can join us. Yeah, we have day passes available too. And this always gets people to show up. We've got lunch provided on one of those days. Comfort food, that'd be good. Yeah, dessert. We're going to be handing out gold bars. What's his name? Yeah. It's actually the kind of gold, the gift of gold that keeps on giving, the gold of the soul. It's that kind of stuff. Once you have it, you'll never lose it. It's really, really cool. So this morning we're going to begin SoulCall as we begin every SoulCall Sunday with the practice of Qigong. And so I invite you, if you're in the room, to find a little space. And we're going to invite up Sifu Helen Yi, who's going to be part of our Circle of Love experience, and to offer this experience of Qigong. Good morning. Can you see yourself?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sunday morning with SoulCall. And
Take a step back, people can see your whole body. Oh, yeah. You didn't get those new shoes for nothing. I'm just kidding.
Okay, today's practice will be about connecting within their mind's intention and focus. Because where the mind goes, the chi flows. And chi is life force energy within all living things, including us. We have a flow of chi that circulates within our bodies. And we can actually circulate it, cultivate it, and store it with our mind's intention. So from here, I'd like you to release any kind of emotions at this point and replace them with something that you can feel, such as joy, gladness, and so forth. And just take a deep breath in, allow the breath to come into the abdomen, filling up our lungs, and going down into the lower abdomen. focus on that vibration that you're feeling within your body right now. Feel that tingling. And from here, I'm going to guide your mind with the vision of chi, the golden light. First, we will go ahead and open our mouth points, which is in the palms of our hands. And go ahead and bend your wrist slightly. And absorb that earth yin energy. Allow it to come into the labyrinth like a magnet. Feel that pull, that slight drawing in of the energy through the labyrinth points, coming into the shoulders, into the body. Continue to breathe deeply. And from here, relax the wrists and turn the palms upward. We're going to gather the chi, floating the arms up as if there's two healing balloons connected to the wrist. Just feel all that life force coming into the body, swirl the hands as you are gathering the yang energy of sky and heaven. And now guiding it and feeling it going into the byway, which is near the crown chakra. And from here, go ahead and guide the chi slowly into the byway through the central meridian pathway. Feel that chi, see it, visualizing as the golden light coming in and absorbing into the trillions of cells in our body. Feel that connection going into deep into the bone marrow, nourishing the red blood cells, coming into the eyes and throat, bringing it into the lung cavity, nourishing the heart, going into all the systems of the body, deep into the organs, stomach, the gallbladder. Feel it nourishing the kidneys, gateway of life, energy points, into the lower abdominal area. And now relaxing the shoulders. And now gathering the chi, bringing your arms parallel to the body. Feel the fullness of all the chi particles between your hands and your arms. See them with your vision, the bright golden light, getting more and more powerful and more concentrated with your mind's intention. Feel like it becoming brighter and more powerful, more concentrated into a smaller chi ball. And from here, with your mind, go ahead and guide it into the lower dantian, the battery center of our body. Pushing it in. Feel that fullness of chi going in there. Using it for later usage. Bringing the arms and hands to the side. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the arms, relaxing the body. Feeling the appreciation of your practice. Thank you so much.
Taking that energy, you'll find a seat. Welcome everyone. What happens when you increase the chi? People show up. Yes. And then there were more. So just taking this opportunity now to feel ourselves, incorporate that energy into ourselves in a meditation. So feeling that bubble of joy. Locate where you can feel the energy, that chi bubble in your being. And just allow this song, as much of it as you can hear, called Take This Heart, to just take you into a meditation. So just being still, put your feet flat on the floor, palms turned upward at the juncture of the thighs and the abdomen. Try to keep your back as straight as possible and gently touch your shoulder blades together and then relax them. Just keep the spine straight, allowing for all this beautiful chi, this energy to flow up and down the spine, up and down the spine. And chin parallel to the floor opens up the medulla oblongata, the mouth of God, in the back, the base of the brain and the tip of the spine, allows that life force current to circulate up and down the spine and brain. And enjoy this music. Allow yourself to feel it. As much of it as you can.
Take this heart, let it burn in the flame of the heart of the awakened one. Light upon light, being with being, dreamer, dreaming my soul. Lotus flower, drop of honey, precious heart, liquid gold. Take this heart, let it burn in the flame of the heart of the awakened one. Take this heart, let it burn in the flame of the heart of the awakened one. Exquisite surrender, song of the soul, singing itself back to you. The heart is a window, eyes are the sun, shining light of truth. Take this heart, let it burn in the flame of the heart of the awakened one. Take this heart, let it burn in the flame of the heart of the awakened one. In the heart of the awakened one.
Well, for everyone in the room, you all missed it. We were all singing together because we needed to but the heart of the awakened one. So let's keep that blissful feeling. And mentally, actually let's do it at the end of the talk. We'll talk about growing that bubble of joy. So today we're talking about expanding joy. Expanding joy. And as I mentioned at the top of the hour, coming up October 13th through the 15th, right here at the beautiful property of the Dempsey, we're going to be offering our Circle of Love gathering. And we'd like to have as many people here as possible. We've got day passes available. If you're in need of scholarship to be here, let us know that. We just want for you to feel that joy expanding, the alchemy of light. One of the things I love most about the Dempsey Event Center venue is the experience of light. Sometimes when I'm just walking around the property in the morning, or in the evening, or in the afternoon, right? I was just saying yesterday, Lisa was here at an event, and I just said, you know, there's never a bad day. It's always a great day in the Dempsey. It sounds like a little, but it's really true. No matter where we are on the property or what the sky is doing, the dance of light through this little space is quite exquisite. So when we start thinking about the alchemy of light, what does that mean in expanding joy? And the alchemy of light is like the trillions of cells Helen talks about with Qigong. Like we can all be little chia pets of consciousness, right? Growing that out like concentric circles, expanding the joy. But it starts with us. And it's easier said than done sometimes. But at the Circle of Love Gathering, 13th through the 15th here, you can still register at circleoflovegathering.com or go to soulcallglobal.org and you'll find the link. Gary Lynn Floyd is going to be coming to town. Reverend David Leonard's going to be coming. Yeah, I mean, the music's going to be amazing. Our illustrious Kirtan group is going to be featured as well. And I might even sit at the piano and play a song, which you've never seen me do. That's worth the price of admission right there. It'll be memorable, I can tell you that. But the point there is, for each one of us, happiness, joy is something different. We experience it differently, but different things bring us joy. And it's important for us to recognize what it is for us. And so sometimes in the morning, when I'm on my game, I make a practice of trying to start my day with a bubble of joy. Finding it in my meditation. Where is it? If you're like me, I'm a human being too, but is it difficult sometimes? You can think of all of the other things first. You've got to like dig for the joy. It's like trying to finding the other sock at the bottom of the sock drawer. It's like, I know it's in there. It came out in 2 different loads of laundry because that's what laundry does sometimes. But finding the match of joy. All right. So like the Marie Kondo of consciousness would be finding what sparks joy for that day. It could be something different. But what we want to do when we find it, locate it, and then put all of our mind's attention on our heart. And as we breathe, we're going to practice this together. Inhale into the center, where you found that feeling of joy. And expand it, like a balloon. And then when you exhale, leave it expanded as far as you have gotten it, and then exhale. It's like the reverse blowing up a balloon. Then inhale, and expand it even further. Set point, exhale. So that you're completely surrounded by joy. You, from joy we come, in joy you live, and that sacred joy will mount. That's Paramahansa Yogananda also, from Self-Realization Fellowship. So, finding where it is that we're holding joy. Sometimes we do workshops where we find where we're holding emotion, where we're holding challenge, where we're holding pain. But if we could find that joy, Qigong teaches us, we can transfer that energy. Joy is an energy, isn't it? You walk into a space and somebody's just in a great mood, and it's just, I'm in a really good mood, or somebody's not in a good mood. You can feel that too, but ours is to, as my friend says from Kentucky, don't get caught up in it. That's for them, this is for you. It's okay to empathize as long as we don't own it for someone else. There's always somebody who's trying to offer us something. No thank you. Do you ever go to a luncheon or something like that and something looks delicious? Yes, please, chocolate. And something else just like, I don't know. Or you want to get curious about the things we try on. But as we grow through space and time and we have different experiences, we know Pretty much. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't, no thank you. Right? No matter who makes it, I don't want it. Right? There are those things. Um, for me, it's like soybeans, unless they've been boiled in like copious amounts of time and they're mixed in with some delicious soup. It's got lots of butter and a delicious broth. I could probably get it down. But like, that's a tall order, right? If you gotta work that hard to be around a thing, think about it. We know people like this. We don't have to take things on that don't belong to us, even though it's part of our experience of life. I think what it helps us to do is to become stronger as the vibration. So I like to think of it as, and you've heard about this many times from other people too, like great master teachers talk about vibration and dialing things in almost like a radio dial. So think of your favorite radio station. If you listen to the radio in the car anymore, maybe it's Sirius satellite or however you get your music, Spotify, whatever, you got it in mind. Whatever it is you're dialing into, if I'm listening to the radio, sometimes I like to just be on radio just to see what they're playing these days. But if you dial into, like 89.7 NPR, you expect to get what? Talking 89.7 NPR. I don't expect to get 93.3 like the oldies from the late 1900s. Right? It's funny when you say it like that, isn't it? It's like, geez, I remember from the late 1900s. So, what are we putting out? We can become, and we must become, these energy stations of consciousness. Your vibration has to resonate with the frequency of you. It's like me radio all the time. That doesn't make us narcissistic. It makes us exacting. Like when I show up, I am who I am. And it ranges, just like some radio stations play a variety. Every once in a while, I'm like this, every once in a while, I'm like, but at the root of the root of the root, as Rumi said, I am love, I am joy, I am mostly trying to avoid pain and experience joy. Now when I say avoid, that doesn't mean you don't have tools for experiencing pain and allowing us to like transition through it. We're all going to experience things we would rather not. You might have experienced them on the way over, for all I know. But it's important to know the tools, which is what Circle of Love gatherings are about, to experience more joy. And it begins with any true teaching, recognition. Recognition of, I don't like feeling like the way I feel all the time. There's something I must be able to do to experience more joy. So what can I do to help myself? Save the world, save yourself. Have you heard that? In the end, Mary Oliver says it in her beautiful poem, in the end, the only life you were able to save, she was able to save was her own. First, she thought that I could save this, save that. First, what that means to me when I hear something like that is, save the world, save myself, try to show up as your authentic representation of yourself in the highest vibration possible at all times. So as a singer, I know some days I always give 100%. Think of what it is that is your passion. You give 100%. And sometimes I know my 100% is a little better than other times, but I always give 100%. Because I know I am commingled with a consciousness that is far greater than myself. So expanding this consciousness, I'm going to read a couple of quotes. There's a really fabulous book, and I love it, and it's one of these things, it's one of my books that I just open in the morning and see what's in there. Just let it fall open. You have books like that? This is a 2-volume book from Yogananda again. It's called The Second Coming of Christ, and it's all about elevating your consciousness. And he gives dissertations on what some of the Psalms meant, the Gospels meant, what they were saying metaphysically, and how we can grab some of that and raise our consciousness above the material world, which in fact, there's more available to us there. And bringing it through, as we do with Qigong, that's why I love that practice so much, bringing it into these human forms. We're not limited in any way. Like people think, we're limited by this material world, there are really so many things we can do. No, people thought that you couldn't run a 4-minute mile until Roger Bannister did it, right? So think of what you want to accomplish and tap into the powder keg, like the source that can help elevate the consciousness, expand it, so that there's like less of a solid form of us, and we become wider to take in more of the subtle vibrations, which in fact we're operating in all the time. Walking around this property, there's a lot of light here. Sometimes you can just see it shimmering in front of you. If you're not so focused on the grass, you can see the light coming off the grass. So I invite you to find places like that and make your home a place. So you step in and you feel, zing, or people come in and they feel it. We've all been places like this, right? It's why we like to do pilgrimages to places where people who had an elevated consciousness spent a lot of time, right? We like to do it. So this is from that book, and this is Paramahansa Yogananda. He says, recognition of the immanence of God can begin as simply as expanding one's love in an ever-widening circle. Expanding one's love in an ever-widening circle. We can do that when we come together like this in community, but it's the energy between us that we're feeling safe and lovely in, right? And our smiles. So we've got body, mind, spirit. We smile, we might hug each other, we might elbow, however we do it now. But it's recognizing that human beings condemn themselves to limitation whenever they think solely of their own little self, their own little family, their own nation. So we create these limitations. How many of you, when you were first learning geography, or let's put it this way, maybe you took a road trip the first time you crossed out of your home state into another state, did you expect to feel different?
Yeah. Yes.
Were you disappointed when you kind of didn't? It was like, oh, we were so excited we were going to New York City. And we drove across the line into New York. We were like, does it happen when you get further in? Like, what happens? You know, you're still... So these limitations, they're not really real. They're necessary to understand for all the reasons we have learned to understand them. But the more we can back away from all that and see that image from space of the earth, and then back away even further and see the image of earth from the universe, and then back further out from these telescopes that are coming back with all these images, further out, stellar systems, solar systems, galaxies upon galaxies. We don't need to understand it linearly, we won't, so that's not the answer. Not going to find it or experience it there. It's by going deep, deep within. These days, I am more at home when I close my eyes than I open them. And it's just about, this is my home. And this is my temporary resting place where I get to live, move, and have my being. It's not a bad place at all. It's not good or bad. It's what we perceive it as what this is saying. If we focus only on the limitations of self, family, nation, inherent in the evolution of nature and humans back to the infinite is the process of expansion. So the more we want to get back to our true state, we need to learn to stretch our consciousness. The exclusivity of family consciousness, and he has in parentheses, in quotes, us four and no more, is wrong. He said, to shut out the larger family of humanity is to shut out the infinite cosmic intelligence, love. One who disconnects themselves from the happiness and welfare of others has already condemned themselves to isolation from the infinite spirit which pervades all souls. For one who does not extend themselves in love and in service to God, God is source, whatever you want to call that, to the God in others, disregards the redeeming power of connection with the universality of the infinite. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it's important to know what we can do, but we can do it with our hearts. We could send people love. We don't have to be like them. Like right now, sometimes the most important thing we could be doing for people in war-torn nations or floods or hurricanes, earthquakes, fires, it's all happening, is sometimes we can't get there and rush funds. Sometimes we send the energy of money so that the other people there can help. Sometimes what we can do is send light and send a vibration of peace. It gets there because we're all connected through the radio dial of consciousness, which is love. One of my favorite quotes of Rumi the 13th century mystic poet, is, when I went to write about love, the tip of my pen broke. And what he's suggesting there is, in order to write about something, you've got to be able to like encompass it and then write from. But you can't get around. You can keep expanding and expanding and expanding to infinite space, but you'll still not be able to expand beyond the scope of love, which is where we are. It's all in the energy of that. It's the energy of the universe. Yeah?
Yeah.
I guess. So if we're not feeling it, so pure love in human hearts radiates the universal cosmic love. To expand continuously the circle of one's love is to attune human consciousness with the only begotten infinite, which is living inside of each one of us. Loving family members is the first step in expanding self-love to those nearby. Loving all human beings of whatever race and nationality is to know cosmic love. It is God alone, as the omnipresent, who is responsible for all expressions of life. The infinite has painted glorious scenery in an ever-changing the clouds in the sky. God is creating altars of its fragrant loveliness in the flowers, in everything and everyone, friends and enemies, mountains, forests, ocean, air, and wheeling galactic canopy overreaching all. The infinite love sees one blended light of God. So we're going to be diving into that at the Circle of Love through many different experiences, one of which will spark that God joy in you. God is joy in you, whichever you want to call it, however you want to refer to it. We can all agree that it's there. This is my Matthew McConaughey. You ever see those Lincoln commercials? Yeah, so just, it's, you can't put your finger on it, but it's in every cell of your finger. It's what you can touch and what you can't touch. But it can be felt mostly in every cell of our being. It's holographic like that. So, you'll find the myriad expressions of the one light, often seemingly chaotic in conflict and contradictions. They were all created by God's intelligence, not to delude us or to afflict us, but to coax us to seek the infinite whence they have emerged. So it's all about seeking the infinite in everything. And it kind of, if we make that, oh, this pops up, if I'm looking for the God in it, I'm already focusing on love, without even thinking about it. So it doesn't have this incoming thing. It's like a merge. It doesn't like come at you as an opposition. It just comes at you as an experience. Yeah, that was an interesting experience of love. Like when somebody's not so kind, you can just step back and say, okay. And some days, give yourself, forgiveness starts with itself. Some days are even better than other days. But the idea is to recognize when we might be able to do it a little differently, so that introspection key at the end of the day. Those three things I like to do, like one, what did I do today that I might have done more effectively? Could have done a better job at that. And then I end on, okay, these things I've been working on have gone pretty well. That was pretty good. And then I think of three of the funniest things that happened that day. Just always end laughing, because it's just a positive dream. And you can allow yourself fall asleep laughing, you wake up in a much better mood. Try it, I promise you. Then I love this quote is also going to be in the newsletter. At the footnote of this is a quote by Albert Einstein, who's on to all of this. Albert Einstein says, "A human being is part of a whole, called by us the universe, a part limited in time and space. Part of us is limited in time and space. Like if you're 5 minutes early or 5 minutes, there is definitely, you can stretch time and space, but that's a class for another time. Yeah. But the point is to recognize that. So we call it the universe, a part limited in time and space. He, she, they experience himself, his thoughts and feelings, as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest us. Our task must be to free ourselves from the prison by widening our circles of compassion to embrace all living creatures, the whole of nature in its beauty. Albert Einstein.
Wow.
You know? So something you can say about that is when you expand your consciousness to recognize it's all of the one source. As brilliant as Albert Einstein is he tapped into the thing that powers all of it. And he got more information. That's the only thing. He couldn't even write some of the equations. His wife had to do some of the math for him. But he was on to what he was on to. So we're not limited in any way. You can always find others to help, you know. So let's dive into this practice just for a few minutes of expanding that bubble of bliss, shall we? So we're going to sit with our feet flat on the floor. Why that? Because it pulls the beautiful energy up from the earth. And it helps to neutralize the balance. Because we're pulling energy up and in, and then it overflows. We're always pulling energy and overflowing it. There's a 5-dimensional image I can see, but I can't draw it in 3D, but you can experience it in yourself. Spinning, 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 infinity. So, palms turned upward, where those low points Helen talked about. Pull them close at the juncture of the thighs and the abdomen. Why there? Because it just pulls the energy closest to the spine. So we're trying to turn off the body senses. And gently lift the gaze of the eyes to the point between the eyebrows. You don't want to cross your eyes, but just gently lift them to that third eye region. The Krishna consciousness, the Christ consciousness, whatever you want to call it. But it's that chakra. It's possible to fall asleep when your eyes are lifted to that point. And as we follow the breath, kind of do a little scan for where you're feeling joy right now. It might be in a little joke you heard, or something somebody said, or a smile you shared with someone. Joy. And once you have it, breathe into it as if that bubble of memory, just almost like you put a little nose on it. So you're going to breathe right into it. Just move it first, wherever you find it in your body, move it right to the center of your chest. And now when you breathe, inhale and allow that bubble to expand, to cover your entire body. So it's a perfect circle surrounding you. And exhale, holding that expansion. This time, we're going to take our next breath, breathing into the circle, and as we expand it, the circle becomes filled with light. However you imagine that. You're completely immersed in it. You can barely trace the outline of your beautiful human being. Holding that circle of light, exhale. Take another deep breath in through your nose. And this time expand the circle to the circumference of this beautiful, sacred sanctuary space we're seated in this morning. This time, as you exhale and hold that space, we're going to inhale, maintaining the circumference of the sanctuary space. But this time, when we inhale, we're going to permeate it with light. It's going to become a solid ball of teeming life force of light. Allow yourself to dissolve the limitations of the boundaries of your outline, of your human being, to just merge into it. Be spun around. All your cells have been released, and they're being bounced around in this ball of light, gently collecting as much light as it possibly can. Exhale, now inhale again. This time when you inhale, bring those cells back into your body, but keep the circumference of light as wide as it was. Bringing the cells back into the outline of the body, you can see light within light. You are a pillar of light within a sphere of light, experiencing joy, experiencing the song of your soul. You can hear it singing, singing, singing teeming with light. Exhale. This time when you inhale, fill with gratitude, and as you exhale, allow that circle to come to the circumference of just your body. And feel the light within light. Exhale. This time when you inhale, give great thanks. And as you exhale, bring the light back to inside the body, this pillar of solid white light now. Pulsing, you can feel it vibrating, tingling in your feet, in your calves and your thighs and your buttocks and your stomach, your chest, fingers, toes, arms, shoulders, neck, ears, eyes, face, mouth, tongue, everything. Your hair is vibrating, you can even feel that. Now one more inhale. Exhale, and allow that circle to come right back to the center of your chest. Give great thanks to whatever, whomever, whatever experience you've just created for yourself with mind, intention, and with the elements that are always available to us, and the wisdom of the soul guiding the way. When you're ready, bring your consciousness back to the room. Yeah. What was that? You can do that anywhere. That was probably less than 5 or 6 minutes. And if you get a little break at work or you need a little shift, you can do that anytime, anywhere. Sometimes it's difficult to find the joy, so you can place something there, you can put a deity there, you can put your little pet. Whatever it is that makes you smile. Tiny little, right here. And just grow it, and allow yourself to feel. So we thank you for being with us this morning. Give yourselves a hand, bring yourself back to you. Yeah, we've got many amazing things coming up here at SoulCall before we send you off with Gary Lynn Floyd singing Love Be With You. Once again, October 13th through the 15th, Circle of Love Gathering. Still plenty of time to register. It's an easy drive or an easy flight if you're coming in from out of town. We've got a block of rooms down the street. There are still a handful of rooms left, but lots of people joining us from out of state where they feel so different than we do. It feels so different. But if you're in town, like I said, we've got date passes. Dr. Sandra Solano is going to be doing the sound bath in here, opening night. Phenomenal. So you're going to want to be there for that. Gary Lynn Floyd, Jesse Powers is going to be with us Friday and Saturday. Our Kirtan group, David Leonard, food. Janice Whipple is going to be doing Nia. Kathy Relish is going to have the giant mandala for us. And today, right after today, if you're wanting to stick around for how long is the class?
It's an hour and a half-ish.
Like an hour and a half-ish. We're going to be doing Magic of Mandala with the mandala master, Kathy Roush. So, yeah. And I want you to please mark your calendars. Save the date. It's October 1st, so I'm allowed to talk about Christmas. December 12th, here in Columbus. It's actually going to be in Worthington, Ohio, McConnell Arts Center. Tuesday the 12th, it's going to be the 20th anniversary of Jazz at the Holidays. Yes, tickets should go online and on sale this week, I believe. But if you're in Pittsburgh or closer to Pittsburgh, Monday, December 4th, Jazz at the Holidays, Pittsburgh, where it all began at the Manchester Craftsmen's Guild. However, if you can't make either of those in person, you can also, if you want to stay on the watch, which you can certainly do, December 12th is going to be the one that's live streamed. So mark your calendars, and all the proceeds from those benefit SoulCall Santa. We had so much fun. Silent auction items, get in touch with CARE. Send an email to info@soulcallglobal.org. We're going to be doing a silent auction in conjunction with that again. Mr. and Mrs. Claus will be there. Oh my gosh, so much fun. November 4th, Helen Yee's got another Qigong workshop coming up right here at the Dempsey. There'll be information on the website, soulcallglobal.org. I'm always forgetting things. We're going to have a little basket out in a moment. We thank you for being with us. Your presence is enough, but we welcome your donations. That helps us pay for the space and do our good and perfect work in the world. No amount is too great or too small. And if you're out there watching, you may also send donations to soulcallglobal.org/donate. If you're in need of prayers at soulcallglobal.org. We'll get you on our prayer team list and send out copious amounts of love and light. So for now, I think that's it. Am I forgetting anything?
I'll be doing Qigong with the Circle of Love too.
Yeah, Helen will be doing Qigong at the Circle of Love too.
She forgot it.
I forget because you're always doing Qigong and we have those workshops, so my fault there. I know I forgot somebody else too, I don't know. That's what it is. Thank you. October 21st, here inside in the mansion at the Dempsey, we're having a very, very special concert in honor of Erika Luckett. It's going to be the 5th year already since she made her transition. Some of our closest friends and collaborators from the San Francisco Bay Area are coming to town.
Nice.
And it'll be a very special concert with some of the music Erika composed for a group she played with called 41st Street Quartet. Erika played the cello, so the configuration is going to be amazing. You can get tickets online. It's limited seating in there, so we're going to cap it at 50 people. So you get your tickets, you're going to want to do this. It's cello, flute, soprano sax, violin, and harp.
Wow.
Amazing. Yeah, and we're going to be recording it and live streaming it because I know we're going to sell that out. So then we'll have a little meet and greet after so that our friends from the Bay Area can meet all of our new friends here. So a really exciting time in honor of a brilliant master teacher herself, Erika Luckett. Thank you, Debbie. All right, I believe that's it. If that's not enough, I think it is. We thank you for being with us. Enjoy this song if you're watching live. After we go off here, maybe you can play Love Be With You from Gary Lynn Floyd because we really can't hear it in here. But wherever you are and whatever you're experiencing, always remember that not only are you are loved, but that you are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. Love be with you, peace enfold you, Spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, may good flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Love be with you. All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free. Share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, Spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you, till we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Ooh, love be with you. Love be